Okay, this video is going to be all about what the Modern Classroom project actually looks like in my classroom and what the students are doing and what I'm doing in this way of teaching. This is my second year teaching Modern Classroom. Last year was amazing, and so I decided to do it again. And this year I am really anticipating and planning on it even being better because I've had so much practice and I learned things that I liked and didn't like about what I did last year. Okay, so the first thing is, what are students doing when they come into class for the Modern Classroom? Well, the Modern Classroom project, one of the most important parts is being able to clone myself through recording videos of instruction. So the students watch videos of me instructing them just as if I'm at the front of the class instructing them traditionally. They watch the videos and then they are able to complete the assignments at their own pace. So they come in and they get all their things out on their own and they get started. Sometimes I start class with an all class activity. So usually I spend the first 5 to 10 minutes as a full class, maybe talking about something really important about the science that we're learning, or maybe answering common asked questions, or maybe even doing an experiment. And then I let them go on to do things on their own. They are either working individually or with another person or in groups. I don't mind if they talk to each other as long as they're engaged in the science that they're learning. While they are learning, they have a way to keep track of other lessons. So I have an example of a tracker that I used last year. So this one, they were learning about animal interactions. And what I do is I create, this probably took about 2-3 weeks to complete. I always have a spot where they start, and then their lessons are numbered based on the order of how I want them to do it. And so they work on it from here and they go through the lessons. I give them stickers when they finish the lesson. And then when they get to a certain point here, I require them to check in with me so I can stamp their work. That way I know that they have really mastered that part. Now through this, the students are able to work through this at their own pace. So some students will need more time, some students don't need as much time. And so, but I always provide, students are always working in class. There's never an opportunity for a kid to finish all their work and say, I get to do whatever I want and I'm not going to do anything, or I'm going to distract, or I'm going to play, or whatever. The whole idea of the Modern Classroom project is it provides opportunities for mastery. And what that means is when they finish their last lesson that I require, I have a list of lessons that are called Aspire to Dos. These are the lessons that are above and beyond the sixth grade curriculum that's required, and they get to do stuff that they wouldn't normally do in a normal classroom. Okay, so next right here, I provide them with a list right here of all their lessons from start to finish with suggested due by dates. So this doesn't mean that they have to finish it by these dates, but these help the kids keep moving forward. So the students who aren't really familiar with self accountability or time management, this really helps them. I'm able to remind them, hey, today you should be around this lesson to complete everything on time. I really make sure to provide or to only require lessons where the students that need more time really can have that time to finish those lessons. Okay, and then they're also able to see there over here what their work completion grade would be depending on where they are in the module. So the kids are able to see exactly where they're at and how well they're doing. I really like the transparency of this because students are able to take it upon themselves and take responsibility. And I've seen some kids really flourish by doing that. Okay, and now during all of this, the students are working on their own lessons, they're working in groups, they're working on their hands-on activities and labs and experiments. I am constantly walking around the classroom. I'm checking with students. I'm making sure that they're on task, but also I'm able to help them. I am able to help them one-on-one in the moment when they need questions. I'm also able to grade and assess their assignments right then and there and give them immediate feedback. That way they don't have to wait days and days for their assignments to come back to them. So they're able to really hone in on what needs to be relearned, what they know, what they don't know, and things like that. Uh, a lot of the time, too, I also have planned groups that I will pull 2 or 3 students to a designated table, and I'm able to work with them in small group, especially if they're on the same lesson and they're really, really struggling and they need some in person one on one help. I'm able to help them. This is something I was never able to do in a traditional classroom. This is why I love the modern classroom so much, is that I'm able to sit down with these kids and meet them where they are. And I really love connecting with the students, and this provides me with the opportunity to really connect with them and help them with what they need so much better than in a traditional classroom.